Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome back to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news. Today's video is quite important one because Aces of Thunder just had a major behind the scenes change that could completely shift the game's future. I break down what happened, why it matters and what it could mean for PSVR2 players going forward. So definitely stick around for that. We also got a ton of new Roboquest VR info, including details from the developers themselves. And on top of that, Sony is gearing up for a aggressive PSVR2 Black Friday push with some of the deepest discounts we've ever seen, plus some other bits and bobs. So, before I start, hit like and subscribe because it does help the channel grow and stay relevant in the algorithm, and I super appreciate it. Now, let's go! Epic Rollercoasters just dropped a brand new teaser and it looks like we getting Smurf themed roller coasters. The image doesn't reveal much apart from Papa Smurf popping it from behind the text, looking like somebody when they look suspicious when they're being caught having a shit in the woods. But Epic Roller Coasters is free to play and new themed tracks are always optional purchase, so this could be a fun little seasonal addition, and I think this is a great idea. With Christmas just around the corner, loads of families will be gathering in your house trying to put your headset on, leaving their eyeball juices on your lenses. But a Smurf coaster you can just jump into together with the family and it feels like the perfect, cozy, family-friendly virtual reality moments. There is no full reveal just yet, just this little teaser image, but more info should be coming soon. I'll keep you updated as soon as the developers share more. Now, let's talk about Roboquest. The developers gave us more info in today, kind of like a live stream / podcast, and that's what they're saying. Roboquest was a full flat-screen roguelite first game worked on for over 5 years by a 30-person team with 80 plus weapons, multiple classes and procedurally generated maps. Roboquest VR is the entire new PC console game brought into VR by Impact Reality, Flat to VR Studios. This is not cut down spin-off, this is the full game in VR. So they saying the VR gameplay differs versus flat gameplay because scale and verticality hit way harder in VR. Loads of tall vertical city levels looking down from rooftops gives a real sense of height, or height maybe, you don't get from a flat monitor. And also movement and shooting feel is kind of transformed in VR. Two-handed play, so for example, left hand using grappling hook and your right hand is firing using abilities while freely looking around. You approach levels differently, flying around using height and also mobility more. It's almost feel like a different game compared to flat, that's what they're saying. Minimap is on your list. In flat the minimaps pop up on the screen, in VR it lives on your left watch hand. That you flick your wrist to see a holographic map, you can expand it and keep shooting with the other hand. Map also shows enemy pips, so you can quickly glance to locate shooters while still aiming. HUD moved onto your robot body, health, cooldowns and other info are placed on your hands, forearms as gadgets instead of cluttering the view. All guns have been reworked with manual reloads. You can inspect weapons, eject magazines, insert new ones, or handle big shells and odd reloads depending on the gun type. The team try to stay faithful to each flat-screen weapon, but make reloads tactile and satisfying. The designer says it prefers playing with manual reloads because of added immersion. Perk selection is fully physical in VR. When you level up, perk cards appear in front of you. Literally, you just reach out, grab and inspect them before choosing. To stop players forgetting perk, which apparently happens a lot in the flat version, the developers added controller rumble and sparkling effects from the wrist gadget to signal, hey, you've got an unspent perk. This massively improves how often players actually use their perk mid-runs. And the developer gives a tip, don't just mash through perk choices, carefully stack perks and between round upgrades, because that strategy is key to the deep runs. So burn, freeze, stun, etc. They all shown on your body. Hands and weapons visually burn or freeze when those effects are active. When stunned, your hands freeze in mid-air and you must physically shake the controllers to break free, replacing the flat version pressing buttons to quickly fuel the quick time events. And also they stress the most VR native roguelites are fun but much shallower due to budget and content limits. Roboquest VR brings the full content-heavy PC/console game into VR with huge replay value, loads of weapons, perks and builds with hundreds of hours of potential playtime. So it all sounds very good. I'm gonna link in the description for you as well the video what they did, just so you can see for yourself. Now, across Europe, a major Black Friday promotion has leaked showing that all PSVR2 models will be discounted by €100. That brings the base headset and even the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle down to around €349.99, which is the lowest price the headset has ever seen in the Europe. This discount is expected to go live across all major retailers starting November 21st. Meanwhile, in the United States, the deal is even more aggressive. Target will be selling the PSVR2 for just $299, that's a steal, during Black Friday week, starting this Sunday, and that's a full $100 below Sony recommended $399 price. And easily the biggest price drop PSVR2 has had so far in the US, so this holiday season Sony is aggressive with pushing PSVR2, which is good, so PSVR2 not going anywhere. It's gonna be even in more people's hands. Now, let's talk about Gran Turismo 7 now, because this is getting a very powerful new feature in the upcoming December Spec 3 update, a full data logger system. Now, while most players will be eyeing the new cars and new tracks, Polyphony Digital has quietly packed in a seriously advanced telemetry tool. We've seen basic versions of this in older GT titles, but this is the most feature-rich version so far. The data logger lets you load up any single lap from any replay, even selecting the exact lap inside a multi-lap file, and break it down in multiple visualization modes. You get several pane layouts showing a full speed trace across the lap, car, tire, lap, circuit map and G-meter info, driving line overviews, throttle and engine speed traces, and likely braking and steering inputs based on the interface shown. But the real magic is the lap comparison. You can pull in two different laps, even if they different lap times, and the system will automatically align them so both cars appear at the same exact spot on the track at the same moment. That means you can directly compare track position, speed changes, gear selection, throttle and brake inputs, lateral and longitudinal g-forces, and potential and any other logged parameter. It's essentially a professional level analysis tool built right into GT7, letting players study where they gain or lose time without needing to chase a ghost on track. Now, listen, a very important update on Aces of Thunder, very interesting behind the scenes update. This didn't come from Gajin directly, instead it showed up on SteamDB, which tracks changes developers make to their games in the background. And this update tells us something very important. On November 14th, Gajin removed something called tracked controller support from Steam Store setting for Aces of Thunder. What that means is that it looks like the game will not use VR hand controllers, no waving controllers around to grab your virtual stick. This update strongly suggests the game will be played with a joystick, HOTAS, gamepad or a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. Basically, proper aviation controls. Aces of Thunder is meant to be a realistic flight sim, and in realistic sims you usually fly with a stick or HOTAS, not by grabbing virtual controls with virtual hands. Now listen, this part is very important. VR is not being removed, all the VR tags are still there, the game is still a virtual reality flight simulator. Only motion control support was removed, not virtual reality itself. So, why remove it? And maybe they want one control system on every platform, PC VR, PSVR2 and the flat screen version all work better with a joystick or controller. Maybe it's easier to support it and it's more reliable. Hand track controllers add complexity and bugs. And during previews few months ago they wasn't working. So maybe for sim of this complexity it was too difficult to nail VR controls. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that is what was slowing the development down. Maybe. Or this might be part of final push before release. Removing an attack like this usually means the control scheme is finalized. Here is the thing though. This is actually good news. It shows that development is active, decisions are being finalized and Gajin are getting closer to whenever they preparing next. Whether this is a new trailer, a new announcement or just a steady progress. So to put it simply, Aces of Thunder just had backend update where Gajin removed support for VR motion controllers. This most likely means you fly using a joystick, HOTAS or gamepad, which actually fits really well with the realistic simulation style of the game that they going for. Virtual reality is still fully supported, just without hand-tracked controllers. And now, for disclaimer, I need to tell you disclaimer and what happens next. So, of course, things can still change. This is just the current direction based on what we've seen in the back end. And Gajin has gone quiet with public updates for a while now. So, I'll be keeping an eye on everything. Official announcements, Steam database backend updates, asset changes, store page edits, developer communications and any behind the scenes activity. If anything new happens, even tiny changes, I will let you know of it right away. And that's it for today, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. And that's it. Bye.